All right, so you're overweight, you're fat. It is what it is. I've been there. I've done that. I used to be overweight before I started this, whole fitness journey thing. And I used to use excuses like the dryer was shrinking my shirts, when in reality, I was just getting fatter and I was in denial. And the best part about you being here is that you're already past stage one, which is acceptance. We get it. We're overweight. We need to change. Now, from here, I'm going to take you from 0 to hero. We're going to go from fat to fit. I'm going to give you 5 amazing tips. You got to watch all 5 of them from start to finish. Otherwise, you're going to miss out on important key details that are going to help you in your journey. So without further ado, let's get right into tip number 1, diet. I've said this in so many videos. You already know what's coming. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say the term. You already know what's coming. If you see my other, all right, I'm just going to say it. Calorie deficit. Oh, okay. So I thought you were going to swing on me because I know everyone's tired of hearing that. So before you click off the video, yes, you need to be in a calorie deficit. Okay. That's how you're going to force your body to lose fat. Because what happens when you have excess fat storage on your body built up over time? Fat is literally energy reserves on your body, right? And the reason the fat is on your body is because you haven't given your body a reason to use that fat as fuel. How do you force your body to use the fat as fuel? By not eating enough, eating less, calorie deficit. That's literally what it is. So that your body is forced to take the remainder of its required energy from your fat stores. And that's how fat basically evaporates off your body into thin air, right? Pretty much, you need to be in a calorie deficit. Now, if you don't know how to count calories, I have a video on that. It's called The Most Important Skill for Fat Loss. I'm going to link it in the description. Go watch that if you're interested in learning. Now, let's say you're like a majority of people who are, with all due respect, too lazy to learn how to count calories. And no offense, bro. I know, don't get mad. Just hear me out. It's okay. There's another way, okay? You can just eat clean. Why does this work? Because just eating clean will inevitably put you in a calorie deficit as well. If you're really strict and you're really disciplined, eating just chicken and vegetables and fruits and steak, eggs, Greek yogurt, very, very clean foods a few times a day will inevitably allow you to be in a calorie deficit, especially if you're really overweight. This is a great thing you can do, otherwise known as the warrior diet, where you just eat extremely clean. The reason it works is because it's putting your body in a calorie deficit. So you will be in one whether you understand it or not. That's how you're going to lose the fat. So, pick one of the two. Learn how to count calories and reduce them.
Diet Coke.
So you can be in a deficit, or eat really clean. You won't know what your deficit is, but you'll still be in one. So you'll lose fat for a certain period of time. Now that you have that out of the way, there's 2 other tips I'm going to give you on diet. One is eat more frequent, smaller meals. Why do I advocate for this as opposed to people who do like, intermittent fasting and then they eat like 1 massive meal or 2 massive meals? So the reason I don't like that is because it makes you more likely to binge and go overboard. When your stomach is accustomed to taking in large amounts of food at once, even if you have a massive feast planned of chicken breast, vegetables, eggs and steak, Greek yogurt, all of the above, and it's good, after you finish it, you're probably still going to have room for more. And that's where people go for the banana nut cream pie. I'm trying to avoid you from doing that stuff, okay? For me personally, I like to have 4 spaced out, like medium-sized meals throughout the day, every 3 to 4 hours. That's how I like to do it, okay? And what happens is, if your body is used to eating smaller meals throughout the day, like 500 calorie meals, like literally just a piece of chicken, some vegetables, and a glass of kombucha, you actually over time, over like 1 to 2 weeks, shrink the capacity of your stomach. So you will start getting full from smaller meals. So you'll be less likely to have extreme amounts of hunger, which will lead you to going down the path of cheating on your diet and quitting and restarting the cycle of, I'm going to get fit. You do it for a little bit of time, you quit, and then you rinse and repeat. So we're trying to make long-term gains here, okay? More frequent, smaller meals will help you reduce the capacity of your stomach. Over time, you'll start getting more satiated from smaller amounts of food. That will stop you from smacking large amounts of calories in one sitting. The second tip is going to be once a week, you're going to have a cheat meal. Keyword meal. Okay. No cheat day. Don't do that, please. I used to do cheat day, and guess what happened? Cheat day ruined the week. Ruined the entire 6-7 days of progress, because now one day I started off with IHOP pancakes, right? Because I earned it. I did 7 days of hard work. And then for the meal, we go to freaking biology or mod pizza, smack a whole pizza. Yeah, because I earned it, right? And then at the end of the day, we're going to Baskin Robbins and we're getting a freaking Oreo sundae. You will not only erase the week's worth of progress, you'll put yourself in debt, negative balance. That's how much damage you'll do. The benefit of having one cheat meal is you're not going to completely erase the entire week's worth of progress, and you'll have something to look forward to at the end of the week, right? And the damage you do with the one cheat meal is not irreversible. It's really, there's only so much you can eat in one meal, right? So the rest of the day, you're going to have to eat clean, stick to your calories, but just allow yourself one meal, 1 week or 1 day out of the week. For me, it was Sundays, dinner on Sundays. I would just have like, a couple slices of pizza and like some ice cream, something like that. You don't have to go crazy, but one cheat meal per week. Trust me on that one, okay? Now we're going to go tip 2, tracking your weight. Now, when you're overweight, you're going to see the scale go down over time. Now, how do you want to make sure that it's going down over time? A lot of people pay too much attention to the daily weight instead of the weekly average. I'm going to teach you something that's very important when cutting weight for a long period of time. The graph is never linear. It's never going to be straight. It's going to look up and down and up and down and up and down. And when you zoom out, you're going to see the trend is that even though it was up and down for small periods of time, it still went down over the long period of time, right? If you zoom out, it's a downward trend, but you're going to have ups and downs. The reason you shouldn't look at your daily weight is because one day, let's say you're 200 pounds, you want to get to 160. The next day, you're going to wake up 201. You're like, what? Why did that happen? I was dieting all day yesterday. And then you'll wake up the next day, 199. And then you'll wake up again, 200.2. And then the next day, 199.8. This constant fluctuation is normal, okay? It happens to everybody. You'll have days where you're high, days where you're low, but what you want to do is take all 7 days, add them up, and then divide that number by 7. That is your weekly average. Now, every week, if your weekly average is going down, you're on the right track. You're losing weight. That's the number you need to pay attention to. Don't worry about the small daily changes. Like, don't stress the small things in life. Yes, it applies to fitness too, bro. Weekly average. Take all 7 days of the week, add all those numbers together, divide by 7, whatever that number is, save it, do it again next week. If the number is decreasing every week, you're on the right track, okay? Good for you. Tip number 3 is going to be weightlifting. Don't be one of those people that says, I don't want to put on too much muscle. You know, I don't want to look like a bodybuilder. Trust me, brother, you're not going to, okay? No offense, you're really not going to. Nobody puts on muscle that fast. You know, it's very hard to put on muscle actually. Fat loss is easier and quicker than muscle gain. In my personal opinion and my experience. Muscle gain takes very long. You will see it coming from a mile away if you don't like how bulky you're getting. The reason I say you should build muscle is because the ratio of fat to muscle is going to play a big part in how you look. So if you have this amount of fat on your body, you can make it look like you have less fat by increasing the amount of muscle you have, because the ratio changes, right? As opposed to if you're just losing fat but not increasing muscle, yeah, you're gonna look slimmer, but you won't look as aesthetic as if you were losing fat but also weightlifting and building muscle, right? You're gonna change that ratio, and so it's gonna look like you have less fat when in reality you're building more muscle to offset it. Yes, you want to be dieting, you want to be losing fat, but also get a weightlifting routine. I have one really good one that I recommend to beginners on my Gumroad. It's the full body training split. It's only 3 days out of the week, but it'll make you some really good gains, especially if you're a beginner and you train hard. Go download that one. It's free to download. The link will be in the description, okay? Adopt a weightlifting routine. You could either do that one, or you could do push-pull legs. You know, you could do upper lower rest. Pick a routine. The point is that you regularly go to the gym and lift weights while you're trying. Tip number 4 is going to be more movement, less organized cardio. A lot of people make the mistake of, oh, I'm going to go on a diet, I'm going to do this resolution, and they immediately start doing like an hour of cardio every day. What happens to most of these people? 10 days later, they stop. They quit. They can't keep up with the amount of cardio they're doing, and then doing so much cardio at once makes you crave more food. It makes you way hungrier during the day, and then once nighttime is here, they're in the freaking freezer eating out of the Ben & Jerry's container with not even a normal size spoon. They're using the damn scooper. So I'm sorry, I've been there. That's why I can speak about it, okay? No offense to you guys. So if you've done that, this is the cure. Do more activity throughout the day, less organized cardio. You don't need to be doing so much HIIT cardio, running for 8 miles every day, doing HIIT workouts. The best thing you can do is move more throughout the day. What does this mean? I've said it like 5 times already. A lot of people make the mistake where they go to the gym, but outside of the gym, they're extremely sedentary. They probably walk 1,000 steps a day. They don't move much, whether they have a desk job or they're just on Discord all day, whatever it may be. You need to move more. When you go to the store, park as far away from the entrance as you can. Those extra couple hundred steps add up. Trust me. Get more steps in, go on walks. If you have 5 minutes, for the love of God, please spend it doing a lap around your neighborhood, because the higher activity levels are going to increase your metabolism and your overall calorie expenditure for the day without increasing the amount of hunger you will feel. So doing high amounts of cardio will make you more likely to overeat and more than likely cheat on your diet or go over your calories, because you're going to be starving. Doing an hour of HIIT, HIIT, high intensity interval training, you know, if you're doing Insanity, P90X, you're jump roping for an hour, you're boxing, swimming, these are all great things to do, but they just make it really, really hard to do in the long run because of how hungry they make you. So you end up eating back most of the calories that you burn. So how do you avoid overeating? Do more smaller things throughout the day. Okay, go for more walks, move around a bit more. You know, maybe instead of driving down the street to get the mail, just walk to the mailbox. Okay, do things like that. Do lower intensity stuff more frequently throughout the day, because you will actually increase the amount of calories you're burning without increasing the amount of hunger you feel. Boom, mic drop. That's the equalizer. Thank you. Now we're going to go to tip 5. Okay, here we go. This is also one of the most important. Sleep. Tip 5 is to sleep. Now, why is this important? In my fat loss journey, I'll tell you guys a story. I had several days where I hit my calories perfectly. I went to the gym, I walked a lot, I only slept 6 hours that night, and what happened? I plateaued for several days. My weight wouldn't go down, and I was really stressed, and I was like, man, why? I'm doing everything. It's so stressful when you get to that point, when everything's locked in, and you forget one of the most important factors is sleep. Your body burns a crap ton of calories the longer you sleep, and all I did was make the single adjustment of sleeping from 6 hours to 7.5 to 8 hours, right? That extra hour and a half to 2 hours, bro, I smashed through my plateau. The next day I woke up 0.4 pounds less, and then I got the ball rolling again. Your body needs the extra sleep to burn more calories in its sleep. And another thing that sucks about sleeping less is it increases cortisol, which is the stress hormone. And if you have more of that, your body tends to hold on to more fat. The best thing you can do for yourself is sleep more, so you'll be more chill, you'll have less cortisol, you won't be as stressed, you won't hold on to more fat, and you'll make the entire fat loss process more smooth. There is scientific research and data to back this up. I'm not just a guy in a mask talking out of his ass. Maybe I am, who knows? But honestly, yeah, sleep more, because once you increase the amount you're sleeping every night, you're gonna put the pedal to the metal on fat loss. So to recap, 5 tips. Number 1, follow a diet, follow a meal plan, okay? Either be in a calorie deficit or do the warrior diet, eat extremely clean. You're gonna eat it in more frequent, smaller meals throughout the day, and 1 meal out of the week, you're gonna have a cheat meal. 2, when you track your weight, track every day, but don't let the daily numbers stress you. You wanna care about the weekly average. So add all 7 days, divide by 7. That's your weekly average. Make sure that number is decreasing every week. 3, adopt a weightlifting routine, because the fat to muscle ratio is very, very important. You should not just be focused on losing fat. You should also be focused on gaining muscle. 4, increase your activity levels. Go for a bike ride, go for a walk, do more frequent low intensity activity during the day, as opposed to high amounts of intense cardio, because that will make you extremely hungry and it's a lot harder to keep up with in the long run. We don't want temporary fat loss. We want to look good in the long term forever. We don't ever want to be fat again after this, okay? 5, sleep more. When I went from sleeping 6 hours a night to 8 hours a night, substantially increased the amount of fat I was losing on a daily basis. So with that being said, I hope you guys found these tips very valuable. I hope you got some value from it. I hope it was useful. These are pretty much tips for the beginner. Okay, if you don't have a lot of experience, these will definitely benefit you. Maybe if you're intermediate, they will also. But to my advanced people out there, let me know if you want a detailed guide on getting shredded, where I go very, very in depth on calorie counting specifically, cardio structure, and weightlifting structure, because these are all great tips for people just getting into it. But I want to help everyone of every experience level, so let me know in the comments below. With that being said, this is Ski Mask Duet signing out. Let's create the best version of ourselves to give to the world, okay? Peace.